I just hit the go live button. Start us off. I just hit it.
Are we live?
Yeah, we should be. I just hit it. We're
Okay,
live.
welcome to another show. Welcome to the Under Big Dog Show, where we talk everything sports. Everything we talk about is about sports. Under Big Dog Sports Show here live on YouTube. And we got another jam packed show for you today. We got live commentary of the Heat Boston game that is about to come on in about the next 13 minutes here, just under 13 minutes. We have topics about Victor, LeBron, Dame, more basketball, football, and it's a jam packed show. So make sure you're tuned in. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell after you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you for everybody that's watching. And remember, this show was made for you. Please don't let it just be me and Gator today talking sports. We really just want to be host to sports fans. We are all sports fans. We want to just be a host to sports analysts, to the people that know sports, that know what they talking about. We want people to come in here and relax, have a beer while you talk to us, chill and talk sports, man. It's just a feel good thing to just rap about some sports. So that's what we here for. Um,
What is it you always say? Sports talking sports is what? What's your favorite thing
I
to say?
said no. I say talking sports is therapeutic, man.
Yeah,
If you love sports, talking about it is therapeutic. It really, really is. I mean, it really,
I
really is.
agree. I love when you
Getting
say
your
that.
voice, getting your voice heard, getting your opinion out there about what you feel about a game that just happened, or conversations that are timeless, like goat conversations, that like all these type of things. Like getting your voice out there feels good. It's therapeutic, and so get on the show. The show was made for you. Let's really quick, Gator, hit the sports news so that we can get right to it.
Of course, of course. So yeah, we got just a few things here. We'll start with the NBA since the NBA started off recently. The NBA is actually looking into that James Harden missing the national broadcast game. Apparently, he wanted to travel with the team. It looks like, but ownership told him to kind of stay behind and get in shape since he missed the preseason or the not the preseason, but
Training camp.
training camp and stuff like that. So the NBA not too thrilled about that. They're kind of looking into the Sixers a little bit there because it looks like even though James Harden missed training camp and stuff, he wanted to play in that game. It looks like he wanted to travel with the team and play. So that'll be interesting to see what comes out of that. Luca
Okay.
had that calf strain in, but he looked good. He looked good. Game one looks healthy. Don't look too worried about that. Let's go over the World Series starts tonight. It may have already started. I think it starts at 8 o'clock. Um, the Rangers are looking to win their first World Series. Texas Rangers against the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Arizona Diamondbacks, I think, won a couple, or they might only have won one. I have to fact check that. I know they beat the Yankees in the World Series, so with Randy Johnson back in the day. So yeah, that's fun. If you're a baseball fan, that starts tonight. Enjoy that. The NLCS and the ALCS was amazing for baseball fans, so enjoy that tonight. Now we'll switch over to the NFL. Dalvin Cook's looking to be traded. He doesn't like his uses with the Jets. I don't honestly am a little surprised by that. I don't know what he expected. I know he expected a little more touches than what he's getting, but I mean they got a young stud over there that obviously he was eventually gonna play behind. No, so I don't know what that was. He should not have signed with the Jets. I thought it was a bad idea from the get go. Um, Tyreek Hill, missed he's missed all practice this week, but he said he'll be good to go Sunday. Looks like he's just playing it safe. Deshaun Watson still nursing that shoulder injury. He has no idea when he will be back at this point. It could be this week. It could be in 4 weeks. He has absolutely no idea how long this injury will linger. Garoppolo is set to return Monday night against the Lions. The Vegas Raiders offense. I mean, that's it's funny when we talk about Jimmy Garoppolo because we know how he looks sometimes, but but then we see Brian Hoyer go out there against the Bears without Justin Fields and absolutely drop goose eggs. So I mean, you really come to appreciate Garoppolo sometimes. I think their offense is going to take a big step Monday night. He should be back. And Brock Purdy's in the concussion protocol, even though he did have a full day of practice today. It was expected that he wasn't going to play, but it's looking like he might. And what's very interesting about that, King, is he threw the 2 interceptions right after he got concussed. So I don't know if that was the reason why, but that's when he started playing bad. I'm not using it as an excuse, but it's a true thing.
That's exactly what you're doing.
But we did the same thing. It's not an excuse though, because it was literally like plays later. Like I'm talking like 2 or 3 plays after the QB sneak, he threw his first interception of the game. So
Right, I said when
and
he's
then the
plus. First
concussion,
of all,
and then the
all of those
Tua.
guys out there playing, all of those guys out there playing
But do you remember
concussed,
last
man.
year when? Not that's not.
This is
Yeah, but
football
it's
we
different
talking
from the.
about.
It's
This
different
is
from the.
football.
It's different from the quarterback position because even Tua last year looked amazing in the first half against Denver, got concussed, and went in and had one of the worst halves of football ever in his entire life.
Okay,
So
move it along, sir.
that's it.
Okay. Um, what do we got? Our first topic. Oh, let's get straight into it, man. We got to talk about this before we get this game on. First topic, man, is we got an Eastern Conference Finals rematch going on live on ESPN. I want to say yes, I believe. Um, listen, Heat at Boston. Miami at Boston. Heat at Celtics. This should be fun to watch. Uh, what is the first one say, Gator there?
Well, the Heat and Celtics have a
Oh,
playoff
will
field.
it have a playoff? Will it have a playoff field? I absolutely think it's going to have a playoff field
Definitely.
tonight.
Know why? Know why?
I mean, yeah,
The main reason is because these two played each other in the Eastern Conference Finals the last 2 years. Like it's kind of a little rivalry going on now. Like it's gonna have that feel. Like those matchups this whole year are gonna feel like that every time they play. Like these two have knocked each other out. Both years, Boston knocked the Heat out, and then the Heat knocked the Celtics out. So
exactly.
both wound up
I
losing.
totally,
But
I totally agree with you. When you're the reason why I didn't have an opportunity to compete for a world title, when you're the team that bumped me out, Boston in this case, in a game 7, and especially the way that they did, this game is going to have a temperature to it. It's going to have some high heat to it for sure. It's definitely and Heat are not going to back down from the smoke that Boston's going to come with. So this is going to be an intense game. I'm definitely looking forward to this game. Going to be locked in on that. Going to just be locked into how it feels out there, how loud it is out there, because you know that Boston crowd gets crazy in this. So this is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. Um, we have what are the keys for the Heat and Celtics to uh get the win? Well, for the Heat, I think you stick with what you've been doing in terms of um just from a perspective of physicality. You know what I mean? Like when Boston gets dealt with in a physical way, their stars like Tatum and Brown start their production starts to trend down. Their effectiveness, their will starts to be, able to be questioned. Like so, I think you take it from that mentality: high execution offensively, play fast, play hard, get physical at every point of attack, whether it's for 50-50 basketballs, offensive rebounds, rebounding in general, getting out, running the floor, out playing them, out executing them. Like I mean, just winning the game in all physical aspects, not just the roughing and the toughing. I mean, from a endurance aspect, from a being faster, speed, from a execution standpoint, like just win the physical battle. I mean, being in shape. I think we all know Miami Heat are one of the most, if not the most, because that's just their culture, the most in shape team in um the National Basketball Association. So they gotta put that prowess out there. And for the Celtics, honestly, they just gotta be better because they are. Like their stars like they have more star power than the
Yeah,
Heat.
Miami
Way
got
more.
worse. Miami got worse,
Yeah.
and Boston got better.
But
So they
but
should
but
win
but
this
that's what I'm
game.
saying. There's a concept that can make Boston lose this game. Like there's a physical element. There's a go out there and you as a Celtic, you gotta answer certain uh challenges in order to have a shot in this game. Like if you don't answer the challenges that the Heat will
On the
present because
road
they
too.
present it to yeah, the Heat will present because they present it to every team they play. The physical challenges. Will are you willing to run up and down with these guys because they're one of the most in shape teams in the NBA? Are you willing to continuously chase these guys around on a defensive end because they got a lot of activity on the offensive end? Are you willing to you know bump with these guys on the glass? Like it's the will of the man that you got to answer when you play against this Miami Heat team, and you got to answer that. If you don't answer those challenges, you will lose. If they are able to answer, just like they're not going to be able to be at Miami's level from that retrospect. But if you're able to close that gap, and then on top of that, get your stars going because your star power far outweighs their star power, then it should be no reason Boston loses this game, and I'm going to take Boston. Um,
Yeah, I'm gonna take Boston too.
Go
I
ahead,
think
Gabe.
I think this comes down to the role players on Miami and the bench. Like I said, I think Miami got a little worse over the offseason, and Boston got a little better. So yes, Miami did wind up beating them last year, but it's a different Boston team. It's probably the most complete team they've had in a while. Their starting five is the best they've ever had. Uh, Porzingis looked like where he was drafted. Porzingis looked like where he was drafted on Tuesday, or was it no Wednesday night when the season started.
Right.
So it's different to guard them now. It's different. It's a little different to guard them defensively. Not and Miami Heat are built for that though. That's the only thing. I think the Celtics are gonna pull it off, but that's one thing about Miami. They're kind of built to play that defensive style game and scratching out wins. So I like them to cover the 9. I like Miami to cover the 9. I'll take the
Yeah, that's a
cover,
good bet.
but Miami
That's a good
wins.
bet.
I mean, but
It's a good
Boston
bet.
wins.
It's a good bet. Um, as we move on along,
You gotta lower your TV.
Drew Holiday opens the game with the corner three. Is it that loud?
Yeah.
Um, Drew Holiday opens the game with the corner three. So yeah. Next topic here. We have our Thursday night game last night, where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers traveled to to Bills Mafia, and they made it a game. They made it a game. Um, I wasn't too impressed with the Bills' overall performance. Um,
Not at all.
in in terms of in terms of my Super Bowl pick for them, like because I got them in the Super Bowl. So am I encouraged by what I seen from a Super Bowl perspective? Like this team could actually come out the AFC? No, but Tampa Bay has proven though that that's not a gimme game when you see them on your schedule. They've proven to be more than competent, somewhat formidable. And so I will understand that perspective. Um, they presented some problems for Josh Allen, even though Josh Allen still ended up having a 3 touchdown game, threw for over 300 yards. There were a few stalled drives because of some problems that Todd Bowles and the Bucks defense was able to present. to the Buffalo Bills offense. So, but just defensive. I mean, I I just didn't feel because Buffalo didn't do anything wrong or bad. I just didn't feel their dominance. I just didn't feel their dominance, and I'll just leave it there.
Yeah,
As
I wasn't
Tyler Hero
impressed. Go
hits
ahead.
a mid range jump shot.
I wasn't impressed at all, to be honest. I've had enough of. I've kind of seen enough of Sean McDermott in my opinion.
I agree. I agree with that.
I don't like him. I don't think he's the right coach for that team. They had a they. We could have had a different conversation about them. He didn't really give his team a chance to go close it out. They punted on a bunch of key fourth and twos, fourth and threes that a coach like Nick Sirianni or like they wouldn't have gave Buccaneers a chance to even get back into that game. And it would have just been full throttle. They're across midfield. Like I'm just like he. I'm not saying he's too passive because I've seen him go for it a bunch of times, but it just doesn't seem like he can rev this team up the way they need to be revved up. And I could be wrong. We don't know much about him, but something about him on the sideline just rubs me the wrong way. I can't exactly pinpoint what it is. It's just like, do you know what I'm
I
talking about?
No, what I think it is, and the reason why I'm personally sort of not over, just will be okay with them moving on from Sean McDermott, is because they like, even though I believe their Super Bowl window was still open. I mean, Josh Young is very young. They got
Yeah,
some
me
good
too.
players. They got some young players. So, but it's just for so many years, as Bam Adebayo just put Chris Tapps Porzingis on a poster. Hope y'all watching this game. Is going to be an exciting game. I'm looking forward to it. But um, I just think the last about 4 years, Buffalo has had opportunities to win a Super Bowl, and a lot of their culture and what they do well was exposed during that time. Like, and what I mean is, teams now have a book on how Sean McDermott operates, how he runs his system on all three levels: offense, defense, and special teams. Just what they teams know what they can expect from going into a game against a Sean McDermott led team at this point. And so it only gets harder um when that's the case. So that's where I stand with that. And so I just think a new guy coming in there with this roster can revitalize, their effectiveness in these games because, yeah, because you'll have a new coach, new system, new way of doing things, with these guys, and so now they'll present some new, and different challenges for teams with this loaded roster because I absolutely do think it's a loaded roster.
Yeah, I just think that was a game they should have blew. The way the defense played last night, they should have blew that team out of the water. I mean, I don't know if you saw the bet that I sent in. Did you see that in the fantasy chat?
No, I didn't get a chance to look at it. What
I
happened? What
hit
did you
every
say?
leg last night. This was for 2K, except the Bills over 26.5 points, and I believe, yeah, and they had
No.
27. They had 24 with 10 minutes to go in the third. So
Mm.
something like just like that, like you scored no points in the third with the field position that they had. I don't think the Buccaneers moved the ball at all in the second half until like the last drive.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
So like they
That's what
really
I'm
just
talking about.
couldn't put it away. They just couldn't
Yeah.
put it away, and I don't think it's the offense's fault. I don't know if it's play calling or whatever it is, but it starts at the coaching position. That team and how loaded they are, there should be no reason they shouldn't be scoring 25 plus a game with a different either offense coordinator or different coach. So I don't know. I really don't know what
No.
to think about the Bills anymore. And while we continue on the conversations with them, yeah, we could continue kind of talking about their
Hold on,
schedule too.
hold on, real quick.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
this is what I'm talking about with this Heat Boston matchup. A lot of possessions right now are empty for Boston, but already the eye popping possession was Jaylen Brown driving to the basket, $60 million per year guy, gets a little bit of contact around the hip area and can't make at 6'7", 6'8", can't make a point blank layup because of, the physical challenges that Miami presents. So early on, Miami is up 15 to
They're
11
built for
right
the
now.
Celtics. They're definitely built for the Celtics. Like I said,
Right
defensively.
now, right now, Miami are up 15-11, and so far it's because of, like I said, these challenges, playing fast offensively and putting bodies on guys defensively, playing physical. So we know that they're one of the most quickest, fastest, most in shape teams in the NBA, as well as one of the more physical teams in the NBA, and already is presenting problems for the Celtics as the Heat are up 15-11. And we move on to our next topic. We have no more easy wins on the Bills' schedule. Should we worry for the Bills? Um,
I think we should.
and I had an opportunity, because I knew this would be something we spoke about, to look at the Bills' schedule, and I think you have a graphic for it, right? If I'm not mistaken, you might not. If you don't, it's fine.
Yeah, I don't.
But huh?
I don't.
Oh, okay. So I guess we'll just
Just give everybody an idea of the next five.
yeah. So I got to pull it up.
I got it. I got it.
Moment.
I can add one real
No,
quick.
no, it's okay. I got it right here. So we got next week. We got at the Bills. We have the
At the
Jets
Bengals.
in
At the
this run.
Bengals, not the Bills.
I said not Bills. Excuse me. The Bengals. Then we got Broncos. That's a win. But then we got the Jets, who we know
They
that
already
is not
lost
you.
to
You got the Eagles after that, at Eagles, then at Kansas City, then you have Dallas, and then you have at Chargers, then you have Patriots, and then you have at Dolphins. So there are a lot of
That's
challenges
rough.
here. Broncos is the only game here where you're not
100%.
coming out
Yeah.
of that game knee in an ice bath, where you're not coming out of that game less of a man because of everything you left out there on the football field to try to
Back
win
to
that game.
Atlanta as
Like these are some rough will of the man type games. And so, with a 5-3 record right now, I am a little concerned for the Bills. But I'll say this though, because they're my AFC team to come out, I fully expect them because, for example, if this was, and this is why, I gotta sort of like, yeah, I'm worried, but I gotta sort of like temper my worry because if I got them as the AFC title, gonna be, win the AFC, then that means I gotta temper my worry because if this was the Chiefs' schedule, like say you flip it and this was the Kansas City Chiefs schedule, we wouldn't be worried for the Chiefs. You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
like
one's
if the
six
Chiefs were
and one, one has three losses. That's
no,
why.
what I
If
mean
they
is
were five and one, it'd be different.
if the Chiefs were 5-3, I wouldn't be worried for the
Oh,
Chiefs
I
because I
would.
just know
I would.
I'm sorry, I wouldn't because I just know that the Chiefs are capable. It don't matter who they play, they're capable of beating them. Like Mahomes and Andy Reid and in that defense for the last few years, 3-4 years now, have put a have just set in my heart that it don't matter who they play, I can't bet against the Chiefs. Like no matter who, whether win or lose. Like even if they lose, it's just like, oh well, okay. Like I'll take that. I'll take that loss on the chin because I feel very comfortable with the Chiefs' chances, no matter who the matchup is. And I can't say that I feel that way about the Bills. And so that is what is making me be like, you know what? If I got them as the AFC coming out the AFC, I need to start to make myself feel like the Bills can handle this tough schedule that's upon them now. And I'm gonna go out and say, like, all right, yeah, I'm worried, but Bills, let's see what you got. You my AFC pick.
I'm really worried. I could see a scenario where they miss the playoffs. I don't think that's going to happen, but I could see it
No, I
with
get
that
that. I
schedule.
understand.
I could see that. That's why I'm worried, especially the way they looked last night. I never really thought they were going to lose the game, but they did not look great. They did not, especially offensively. In the second half, a lot of. I know maybe they were just trying to control clock and all, and just play the field position game, but a lot of trips came up empty. A lot of. Oh, let's get.
Offensive rebound.
We're gonna get to the 50-yard
Offensive
line and punt.
Yeah, offensive rebound by Miami Heat led to a Tyler Hero 3. And just this is what I mean. Tyler Hero, then that Boston now turns the ball over. Tyler Hero in transition pops another 3. So I mean 22-13 Miami right now from the physical game, as Boston, comes down, takes another quick shot, and Heat comes back down again. Good ball movement, and they're up 24-13 now. Boston is forced to call a timeout, and this is what I'm talking about, man. Heat are fast and physical, man, and not just on physical, on like rebounds and stuff like that. Like they're fast, like offensively, like they're running around, passing, running, passing back, transition, running, getting out and running. And then you got, not only you got to worry about that aspect of the physical game that they present, then you got to worry about the bumping and elbows to the rib cages and guys being bullies out there. Like they have all the elements of the physical things that you need as an NBA team to just literally lean on that to win games for you. Like you ain't got to be that good when you have all of these elements, these fundamental elements that the Heat carry. And so they're presenting Boston with these problems already. Where did you close your take on that, or did you have
Yeah,
a
no, I'm
closing
good.
statement?
We're on Victor.
Woo! Okay, Victor. Victor Wembanyama's debut, right? What did you see from the kid, man? What
I
did you
like
see
him.
from the kid?
I be
Um,
foul trouble's foul trouble. He'll learn. He'll learn that style of the game and how to stay out of it. When he was on the floor, though, he was playing some really good basketball. And the numbers showed limited minutes, really. He got into foul trouble really early in the game and still came up with an impressive stat line. So that I do have. 23 minutes, 15 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. I mean, and 3 for 5. We've been talking about can he continue to do this from the 3-point line? And so far, at his first 3 for 5, 60% from the 3-point line. Like, you can't really ask for much more from the kid on limited minutes. He just got to learn how to stay out of foul trouble. The NBA is going to take advantage of that. They're going to try to take, a lot of these, it's different from how the game is played a little differently overseas. When you're in foul trouble in the NBA, they're going to continue to go after you. They're just going to, they're going to point that out, and they're going to continue to go at you. So he just got to, that's it. And they'll fix that. Coaching will fix that. Pop will definitely fix that.
the only if I, like I loved everything I saw. I did. I mean, Kyrie Irving, he was trying to get to his patent move. Victor blocked, got to. Kyrie tried to get to his patent move that gets him to, his sweet spots in the mid-range area, tried to pull up. I mean, Victor was like 8 feet away from Kyrie Irving when he went up for his shot, and and Victor was able to close the gap like as if it wasn't even there. That was kind of scary. I'm not gonna lie. So I love the flashes. I love the flashes, right? And I guess that's the best way to say it. He had a lot of flashes, maybe because of the limited minutes,
Yeah, he
because of the
only
foul
played
trouble.
23. He only played 23.
Right.
So
I understand that. And I'm saying like maybe that's the reason why, because of the limited
he plays
minutes.
tonight, so I
Um
can't wait to see his second game.
Definitely looking forward to it. Definitely looking forward to it. But it was flashes nonetheless. So I wanna keep watching, because as when we look at, we're talking about he's in that conversation of potentially being one of the best to ever do. I mean, top 10, top 15 type talent. So usually, normally when those guys come in and first came in, I mean, guys like LeBron, like I'm talking about guys that are projected to be a top 10, top 15 guy, like the LeBrons, like the Magic Johnsons, like the Kareem Abdul-Jabbars, like the Wilt Chamberlains, like the Bill Russells, um, you know, guys like that, you know, when they first came in, it was on site. Like it wasn't like it didn't take it was on site for the NBA. So that's what I'm looking forward to from Victor this season. Is it going to be on site for the league? Like, is the league going to have to worry about you right away, like today, like starting now, or is it going to take your rookie year for like? And that's what I'm most looking for. I'm not concerned about him off one game in terms of like what he can potentially be. No, it's just more so if this season he doesn't show us that it's on site for the league, dare I say, like I could possibly be wrong about my top 15 all time pick because I mean these guys came in right away and it was smoke. Like KD came in right away and it was smoke. LeBron came in right away and it was smoke. Jordan came in right away and it was smoke. Like it wasn't oh yeah, look at the rookie out there.
He might
Looks
have
so nice.
well in the full game though he might have had 25.
Okay. And that's what look, I
He
believe in the
really
kid.
might
I'm
have.
just saying. I'm just saying. I believe in the kid.
Six,
I'm just saying.
6 of 9 from the field, so he shot 66% from the field and 3 for 5 from 3 point. That I mean, you can't ask for
Yeah.
more. Stay out of foul trouble. Let's see what happens.
I think I
The
think
stream is going in a little bit in and out today. I think I'm having some internet issues, so just bear with us here. But I think we're good. It's in the green for right now. So, but I keep getting the reconnect I keep getting the reconnecting symbol from OBS every little bit. So just bear with us here. It should be good to go. We got next.
we're good. No, I mean, and we don't. I mean, we can move on.
Yeah, you could.
But yeah, why not? We can move on.
We're right on time.
76ers at Bucks last night. Um, just what a game. I mean, I didn't expect it to
I
be
got a little
that
stats
fun.
up too.
I didn't expect it to be that fun. I actually really enjoyed that game. And partly because of how tight it was in the unexpected players that stepped up for the 76ers.
Someone just got
I mean,
posted in the Hawks game. Wow.
what happened?
One of the dunks of the year in the Hawks game already.
Oh yeah.
Nah, not dunks of the year.
Oh,
You're not dunks of the year, but
okay. But no, it's the Tobias Harris with 20 points as Jaylen Brown attacks the rim in a physical fashion. So you're starting to see the legs get warmed up for the Celtics, and they're starting to accept that physical challenge. And so let's see if they can actually do it, for longer stretches. Tobias Harris with 20 points. Joel Embiid, 24, didn't play great as far as shooting percentage. I mean, 9 of 21 is not horrible. It ain't Joel at his best. Tyrese Maxey, 31 points. Kelly Oubre, 27 off the bench. Like, these guys were hooping, stepping up, hooping. I mean, it just made me, like, I would love to see.
Know what it made me think? Send James Harden on his way. Send him on his way. Get something in return for it. Let's get this over with, because I think this team could win games. I really do.
It made me feel like
they don't need him.
James Harden.
I'd rather have Tyrese Maxey. I'd rather have Tyrese Maxey on the court right now than James Harden.
Well, they play on the court together.
Yeah, but it's more minutes for him. It's more minutes for Maxey. If
James Harden they both always get high minutes. But it's just like as Boston now goes on their run, now they're only down 3. They went on a 10-0 run in the last 2 minutes and 17 seconds, and this is sort of the um this is the bench that came in doing this,
That's
and
basketball
so.
though. The runs in
But I mean,
basketball and controlling runs. That's
no, I
literally part of the
understand, but
game.
but I'm saying no. But I'm saying there are reasons why they happen though,
Yeah.
and the bench came in, and this is anybody that's played right sports or has any like like knowledge really like some in-depth knowledge about certain aspects of sports. The bench always comes in right with a chip on their shoulder, right, Gator? Like
Yeah.
it's like the stars and the starters, they come out and they just sort of got this, I don't want to say nonchalant mentality and approach. It's just more so like, all right, I understand that there are 48 minutes. I gotta, bench comes in. I don't know how long I'm gonna play, and these dudes are playing physical, and they already coming with a chip on their shoulder because they're bench guys. They're not, they get about 12 to 15 minutes per game. They could be out of the league just in a snap of a finger, right? And so that's how the Miami Heat team, that's how the starters play for the Heat, right? This is sort of what I'm getting at. But bench players come in with that, and that's really all it be taking sometimes, right? Like you can't allow Miami to rely on their strength of the physical aspects of the game. Bench came in, matched them physically, started punching them back, right back in the game with bench guys. Like with guys that you still got Jimmy Butler out there on the floor. You still got Tyler Hero out there on the floor. Like, and so with bench guys, these guys coming in making noise. Because they're matching them physically. And what it tells me as far as these 76 is just like, man, like James, are you sure you want to lead this? And as Jimmy Butler knocks down the mid range, I just feel like,
They got Kelly. I didn't know they got Kelly Oubre Jr. Like they
bro,
got
I'm
some
just saying,
people.
my point is, it's like, yo, it's like, and an analyst said this like last week, and I kind of overlooked it when he said it. He was like, James Harden, like, bro, like, what more do you want? Like to try to compete for a world title? You have a
That he wants it
league
handed to
MVP.
him. He literally wants it
I'm,
handed to him.
I'm saying you have a league MVP in Joel Embiid. You have
He
a
didn't play well last
formidable
night.
you have a formidable backcourt in Tobias Harris. You have a amazing front court in Tyrese Maxey. And then now you add complementary pieces. Melton's already been there, but he's a great complementary piece. We already know what PJ Tucker brings to the table. That goes unspoken. We already know what Patrick Beverly, especially off the bench, presents for teams out there from a physical standpoint. And then you look at Kelly Oubre, if he could actually come with this spark off the bench on a consistent basis, it's like potential 6 man in the year. It's like, bruh, get your butt in there. Forget what Daryl Morey said. Like,
Yeah.
as believers, we're called to forgive people anyway. Forgive him. Move on with your roster and your new team. Nick Nurse is one of the best coaches and has proven that he's one of the best coaches in the league. And so that's what I really, you know, was impressed. Like that's what I like took
Let's get
away
back
from this
to
game.
we could kind of talk. Maybe I should
I
just
know, I know,
maybe I'll skip.
I
No,
know.
maybe I'll do the Nick Nurse one first since you're already talking
No,
about it.
you don't got to. No, just leave it there. Leave it there
Okay.
because we can talk and I guess we did run the course of what Nick Nurse, but I was definitely obviously impressed with Damian Lillard's game one performance. 17 for 17 from the free throw line is just ridiculous. Honestly, I mean I know they're free, but goodness,
That was the
to not
difference
miss.
in that was literally the difference in the game. Joel Embiid went 3 for 8 and Damian Lillard went 17 for 17.
That's just absolutely ridiculous. And then you talk about what him and Giannis did to close the game out. I think they scored the team's last 15 points in the fourth quarter to close the game out.
Yeah,
Dame Lillard had a
Dame had literally he only had two threes until the last 3 minutes of the game. He had two of his four in the final 3 minutes, which is
right,
Dame time. So
exactly, and so this
he
is
brought
this
Dame
is sort
time
of
to Milwaukee for sure. in
Oh,
his
you
first
just said
game.
it. You just said it best. You just said it best. And he showed us, like you said, he showed us game one. And the whole point behind my excitement with this Dame Lillard Giannis connection was because to me, Giannis reminds me of LeBron in this way. Giannis on your team, you're going to be in every game. Like you're going to be right there in striking distance to win the game. And then you add a guy who literally thrives in moments when you are in striking distance. Like, my goodness. And he proved it last night, scoring 11 points. And I want to say the last like 3 minutes of the game.
He averaged 10 points a quarter, Dame, last night. So it's just like it's crazy. With
And I was just saying, like, in those last three
Yeah,
minutes,
yeah,
I
he
want to say
went
he
no,
had
he went
11
crazy.
points.
Yeah, he did.
He
He
had
had at
he had
least 10,
11.
and I know the buckets like in my head because I
No,
watched.
yeah, well,
I
he Giannis and him in the closing game
He might have
in
had
the
more.
close
He might have had more.
to
Was it
close
11?
to close that game out in the clutch to close that game out in the clutch. Him and Giannis had 15. Like they scored the team's
Yeah,
last 15.
I know for sure he had
Dame
11.
I think Dame had 11 of the 15 is what I'm getting at. And so to have a guy like that, him and Giannis who will have you right there in every game at the end, and to have Dame, because that was really what Dame's problem was. It was just like, will we be able to see Dame time? Why? Because it's like, he don't even have the team to always be in Dame time scenarios. You know, now he'll be in Dame time. He'll be faced with Dame time scenarios darn near in every game that's close if they don't blow the team out. So, they're very impressed with Dame.
Yeah, me too. Like I said, I kind of said it already. He brought Dame time to Milwaukee. Um,
Mm.
he made two threes in the final 3 minutes, and then also got fouled from three and hit all three of his free throws. So that's 9 points that I know for sure that I remember, and I'm pretty sure he had the game-winning shot. Not shot, but he laid the ball up and got fouled with like I think 10 seconds left to ice the game out. Over and B, like it was a double team. He got fouled on some, like you would have thought no way he's scoring this, taking the ball into the paint against two guys, one of them being Joel Embiid, and forced a foul and hit both of his foul shots to ice the game out. So I mean, to me it was Joel Embiid kind of was a little sluggish, and Damian Lillard was not. If we're talking about the two stars of the game. So I think that was the difference maker. Joel Embiid finished with 24, so he did have a solid outing, but he didn't shoot the ball quite well. And from the free throw line, he was atrocious last night. He was one of the best big men shooting free throws last year. They said during the game he wasn't the best, but he was up there. And he started. I think he went 3 for 8 from the free throw line, and you can't do that as the star on your team.
Agreed.
Do you want to skip? Did you say what you wanted to say about Nick Nurse?
Yeah, I mean, we could. I guess we could bypass the how good they looked under Nick Nurse. I mean, they looked great. They looked great. I think Harden should get up in there. Stop playing. Get up in there.
Well, I
You got
think
anything to
he
say on it?
was kind of. I think he is trying to just play. The management held him out or coaching it or something. They didn't want him to travel with the
Right. No,
team.
you're
So
right.
I
Right,
don't know
yeah.
really per se what's going on in the background. It seemed like he was attempting to play, but who knows? I got to do some research on that probably to get a more detailed description. But that was just a quick little tidbit on it. I heard that he was looking to play or at least travel with the team, but management didn't allow it. So that's that. Let me get the Lillard stats off the screen. Should
He's
Joel
toasted
Embiid
them
request
boys.
a trade?
Um, I'm not gonna lie, bro. How old is he getting at this point, man?
I don't know, but I
At,
mean that
at
that
this
that
point,
Philly team is still good. He's
it's
not gonna
good. I mean,
find many better teams right now.
I'm just saying he's 29, right? And I don't mean like it has to be an agreement, right? It
Not
has to be
yet.
like
Maybe trade deadline, depending on what's going on. But Not yet, right, King? No way.
I mean, let's see how much time is left on his contract, man. Because all I'm basically saying is all of these moves these other teams made that Philly did not make kept their roster, which is clearly a good one, but it's not what the Boston Celtics did. It's not what the Milwaukee Bucks did. It's not what the Los Angeles Lakers did. It's not what the Phoenix Suns did. It's not what the Denver Nuggets have. Right? And so that's my only concern is what when are they going to make their splash sort of move? And they have. I mean, let me not give them too hard of a time because they tried to make the splash. James Harden was supposed to be a splash move for them. They made splash moves for Joel Embiid when they had, and they were.
They went out and got Kelly Oubre.
They were.
It's not like they didn't do anything.
They were. I'm just saying. Now, first of all, let's understand something. We've seen this from Kelly Oubre before. This is like in football. Who can I like?
No, I understand.
It's like Zay. It's like Zay Jones.
No,
you know what I mean. It's like
no. He's better than Zay Jones. He's better than Zay
no,
Jones.
no. Yo, bro, watch the next. Bro, I'm telling you, watch over the next
Kelly
10
Oubre
games.
on the Warriors.
Watch over the next 10 games. Kelly Oubre, now obviously in a spot now where his scoring is needed.
Where did he play last
year? And I hope I'm wrong. Watch
year?
him.
He wasn't on the Warriors. Where did he play last year?
I forget, man. But all I'm basically getting at is that he has a lot more inconsistent games than these kind of games. And so, but what I'm just getting at is they made splash plays and they were so silly. This was Philly's
20 on the Hornets last year, King. He averaged 20 on the Hornets last year. So I don't know, man. That's what everybody out though. Like I mean, they had a lot of injuries last year, but no, that's still good nonetheless. I'm not going to snuff my nose at 20. I mean, in 48 games though. I mean, but no, look, shooting only 32% from the three though, 43 from the field. 43.
That's
okay.
I said 32 from three.
You're right.
43 from the field. That means he's chucking a lot of shots, and they allowed him to. Why? Because they had a lot of injuries and they sucked. But to average 20 in the league is still it means you can
whatever.
do
Good start.
But
good start for Kelly Oubre. I don't want to dog on him.
All I'm saying is Philly's biggest mistake was and they're still recovering from it, in my opinion, when they made the trade for Jimmy Butler. They were supposed to keep Jimmy. Like that was it. They had Jimmy Butler, Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, Tobias Harris. I mean, that team was ridiculous. Like they should have kept whoever they had to let go to keep Jimmy Butler, whether it was Tobias or Ben Simmons. Like they were supposed to do that. Like that was utterly ridiculous. Like Jimmy Butler not being on Philly is ridiculous right now. So, but they should have did anything to keep that guy with Joel. But they've attempted to make their splash play. So I wouldn't necessarily say Joel should go running away. I mean, they're going to try to continue to make moves to try to compete for a title. I know the city of Philly is desperately wanting a basketball title in Philly. Hadn't won it since Dr. J. But so I'll say no. He shouldn't have requested.
Yeah, I don't think he should either. This is, I think, the best option he's gonna find at least this year. So, and if you're looking to win a chip, Philly's probably the third best team in the East. So, I mean, they got powerhouses over there in Milwaukee and Boston. Hopefully, they can maybe get a 2 seed, so they don't have to play one of those two teams until the finals. Until the Eastern Conference Finals. It's all about seeding in the NBA. I hope they take it kind of seriously this year. So, I just don't see a better option for him this year, especially if James Harden comes back. They're gonna be they're gonna be kind of loaded as well. So, um, we'll see what happens with that. Moving
As
on to
Miami,
Suns and Lakers. Go ahead, give us a little
as
update.
as Miami increased their lead back 42-35 on a pair of threes. I mean, Boston clearly has trouble defending against Miami's speed offensively. It's like clear, like it's clear. And then when they're on offense, Miami is still trying to impose their physical prowess. I want to say how much see how much Tatum has so far, and you have Miami got out there. They got what's this kid's name that they drafted from UCLA? Jamie Jaquez. He's already getting minutes, and that's huge. I mean, we got to understand what this Miami Heat program is with Pat under Pat Riley, right? You gotta, if you're on the floor for the Miami Heat, it's because you earned it. And if anybody that don't know who Jamie Jaquez is, just the star forward for the UCLA Bruins, who was the pivotal guy that led them to national title game um a couple years ago against
I don't think they made the title. I think they made the Final Four.
no
They lost to
no they
Gonzaga,
made
no?
they no they made the title. It was definitely the Final Four, but I want to say they made the title game. No, you might be right because
They lost to Gonzaga.
Gonzaga hit the game, the half court game winning shot against them. You're right. Um, so yeah, that helped them get to the Final Four. Averaged over 20 points per game. Stud college scorer. They went drafted him. I want to say with like the 16th pick, and I was concerned about that draft pick because he is a sort of, I don't want to say soft, but you know he's I've just seen a lot of guys with his skill set haven't panned out in the NBA. And for him to already have earned minutes on this roster, which there is not 1 minute that is unearned on this roster, but for him to earn it as a rookie says a lot. It just says like, oh, like the Heat know. You could trust the Heat when they play a rookie that they drafted, when they did it with Tyler Hero and things like that and Duncan Robinson, you can trust that they know they got a player. And so that's looking like a really good pickup for them. Um, we have LeBron takes over late to still win for LA. Is he forever young? Like, can he do this? Like, how? Like, I guess we could touch on the game a bit. I mean, is there anything you want to say
No, I
about the
did. I
game?
watched the game. So, um,
I mean, it shouldn't have
it's
been
kind of
close.
negative. It's
Look.
kind of negative. It's going to be kind of negative about Bron here. He took over in the fourth. He did what he does what he does in clutch. He'll always be that type of player. But I know he's old, but I want to see him do that more. I don't want to see him just take over the game in the fourth quarter. I know he's, but I don't think that's going to work for the Lakers. If they're going to lose a lot of basketball games if they play the way they play and thinking that LeBron can bail them out in the fourth quarter. I didn't kind of like. He had no points in the second half until the 8-minute mark of the fourth quarter. That can't happen, or else his team is not going to win a championship.
Only reason why I disagree with that take
I
is
know what they're
because
doing. I get the idea. He's trying
it's
to
because it's
conserve
because
energy
it's
and get
the
his
it's,
teammates involved. I get it.
and but what I mean though is now, like, your take would be right if, say, this was last year's roster before the trade deadline, the moves they did. Like, but with the moves that they made going back from last year's trade deadline to the
I
offseason
get
additions
it. I
that
get
they
it.
also made this offseason,
I
he
know.
actually now has the team to be able to go ahead and do that.
But maybe
So
he
now
doesn't. Let's play devil's advocate. Maybe
I'm
he
just saying.
doesn't.
But all right, but what I am
Based on
saying
what I
though
saw,
is
at least.
what I am saying though is that we have to give it time to see if he does though. And
Yeah,
he has to
true.
also,
True.
take that process of seeing what he
True,
actually
but look
got.
at what could have happened. Thankfully, they came out and closed the game. Starting 0-2 would not have been the greatest way to try and
No.
see It would not have been good, and that was without. The Suns would have blew them out if they had just one of their stars in that game last night. Kevin Durant couldn't hit a shot in the fourth quarter.
The only reason why I push back on that is
No, there's no way. No one
because
else could score on that
because
Suns team last
LeBron.
night.
But what I'm saying is though, LeBron and company would have if
Tried to take
like
over sooner.
LeBron is a very what is the matchup kind of guy. Whatever my matchup is says determines how much I'm going to spend myself tonight. And so I know when he learned that Booker was out, when he learned that Bill was out again, he's the type of guy to be like, okay,
I hope you're right.
now I have to reassess how I'm going to approach tonight. And so
That makes sense. That makes sense.
that's how he owes. He's a real calculated guy like that, game in and game out, day by day. He's one of the most tedious, calculated. What does the day bring type of guy? Like,
That makes
and
sense.
so that on top of him having to like, okay, we got a rejuvenated roster. We brought the guys back from last year, the D'Angelo Russells of the world, the one dude from that came from the Wizards. Oh, it's Rui. We brought Rui back. We brought a lot of the same guys back. We brought Austin Reeves back, new deal, and then we added some dudes like Christian Woods, and the guard from the Miami Heat. I have to see what these guys got. Jackson Hayes, center Jackson Hayes. I got to see what these guys, and Anthony Davis just signed the new $60 per year deal. I got to see if this rejuvenated roster is willing to step up, make plays, make shots, be more than helpful, like be what I believe also though they are. I'm looking forward to this team.
I
Yes,
did too.
carrying.
That's what's
I'm
sad.
looking forward.
That's what
I'm
scared
looking. I
me.
mean, it's only 2 games. It's only 2 games,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying. I'm looking forward to this team carrying LeBron for 3 quarters now, like this season. I'm actually so that LeBron can actually have a legitimate playoff push.
They have to, man. They
I'm
have
saying
to
like
get this done, right?
I want LeBron to take this reserve his energy approach this season, step up in fourth quarters, type of
I don't
approach
know if I
because
like that personally. That's your best player.
I mean
That is your best player.
no. The reason why I love it is because if you got the roster to do it, then it's like, bruh, at this stage of his career,
That sounds good.
go that route. I mean, we see it all the time with Jimmy
Do you
Butler.
think they do after just a small sample size? Do you? Because I'm a little worried based on what I saw last night against a depleted roster. I am a little worried. At home, too, home opener, they looked flat. And you're right, it's a small sample size. We got to see more, obviously, but we can still talk about it. I thought they looked flat. I think Anthony Davis was the only one that impressed me last night. And they're lucky. If Kevin Durant would have hit some shots in the fourth quarter, they would have lost that basketball game. So, I mean, because Kevin Durant was on fire through 3 quarters of that, and then there was the whole fourth quarter split. There was LeBron, who was the one that was hot, and KD couldn't hit a shot to save his life. So, man, one of the greatest scorers of all time kind of gave it to them in the fourth quarter. I mean, he had no help, but I am a little worried for I had the Lakers as the second best team going into the season this year
in basketball.
I'm
not worried. I'm not worried.
I'm a little nervous. I'm not
worried
based on
at
what
all.
I saw.
Like this is, and that's why I say like you gotta have been watching LeBron his whole career. Of course, I mean you're not necessarily a LeBron fan or guy. I watch him very, very intently his whole career. This is a typical, and that was what was my number one take on why they would lose the Denver game. And you chose the Lakers. I said LeBron first games, he always this is a typical start to a basketball
season. Can't you see that being a little problematic going into the season? Like that could be the difference. That could be the difference from Denver, the Lakers or Denver controlling home court. Like it's a big deal. it is a big deal. Like you think these games don't, they add up. They add up
I'm not
down the
saying.
stretch.
Look, I'm not here to argue whether or not LeBron should be chasing number one seeds every year. I'm just telling you what he does,
Yeah.
and that's why I'm trying to say as far as why I'm not concerned from the perspective of what this team looks like right now, because this is a typical LeBron-led team. What they look like early on to start seasons, like they just
Okay.
like, it's just typical. Um, and as Kyle Lowry is still, just to throw it out there, is still doing what he does at this age. It's insane. I mean, he's not supposed to be in the league anymore. Like you got two aspects in basketball. You got the in shape, young, vibrant, super athletes, dunking, jumping everywhere, and then you just got those really, really smart guys, and you gotta appreciate both elements, man. And so seeing Kyle Lowry still get off is kind of it's just it's weird
NBA
at this point.
champion Kyle Lowry.
It's weird at this point. Heat are up 51-47, and it's interesting. Jason Tatum picked up a foul. It goes unnoticed, right? That with these Heat, because Jason Tatum was trying to match the Heat's physicality. Bam was trying to, you know, position himself to put Jason Tatum in the post. He had a mismatch, so it was a mismatch. They was looking to get it to Bam because he had Jason Tatum on him, and Bam is, working his way open, trying to, get him in the post, and Jason Tatum is trying to be so physical with him to stop it from happening. He ends up fouling him,
It's funny, King,
and
because out of
and
all
hold
the
this real quick, and what goes unnoticed is is how well the Heat are coached to be physical, because there's a way to be physical without fouling. And when that part of the game is not emphasized in your practices, which I just assume it's not emphasized in Boston practices, you come out there, and because the team is being physical with you, you're like, man, I'm a man, so I'm going to be physical back. But where the mistake is, you don't know how to be physical, so now you're out there just fouling, trying to match the physicality. Now you're out there just fouling. Now more problems arise, and this is what the Heat do to go ahead and sustain games and win games against formidable teams that they shouldn't even be competing with. Honestly, they should not be even competing with the Celtics. They just don't have the star power to do so. Yet they're in this game as Boston takes the lead 53-51.
It's just funny though. Like we could talk about all the Eastern Conference teams, the Sixers and the Celtics and the Bucks. You would think that the Celtics should be worried about one of those two teams, but it's the Heat that just that literally match
Right,
up with them so well. It's a team they just
right,
don't want to see. It's a team they don't want to face on the day to day. They would probably, if you had to ask them, they would probably rather play the Bucks or the Sixers right now. If they were to play a 7 game series, it's just a team that has just been a nightmare to them, a thorn in their side, and
right,
just always matches up very well with them. They're always gonna play
right,
Boston tough.
right. Agree. I agree with you. I agree with you. And I think LeBron is definitely, like, he could be like, I don't know if you've seen that new LeBron commercial where it was just like they kept saying over, and like they kept bringing up, like, monumental moments in his life and career, and they kept saying, and do it again, do it again, do it again. Oh, they say you can't win another championship after winning four. Well, do it again. They say you can't do this. Well, do it again. Or you're just a kid from Akron. You wasn't supposed to be here. Do it again. Or, like, so it was just like this cool little do it again kind of like commercial that they shot for LeBron's, I want to say, new sneaker line. I want to say that's what it was for. But the one that stood out to me was the part of the commercial where it was like, um, you said you said you wanted to wait till your son got to the NBA to to play with him. Well, do it again. And then it showed Bryce, his younger son. I'm just like, Lord, oh my gosh. Like Bryce being I want to say he's a sophomore or junior, but that would mean at least 3 more years
Plus college.
LeBron would have to be into the league in the league. And it's like, could he actually like? And when I just see the way he approaches not only the game, forget about just the game for a second, just the way he approaches life, right? Like the way spending $2 million on your body, spending over $2 million on your body every year to sustain it is absolutely nuts. Like, and I'm sure a lot of that stuff is like for convenience and stuff, like right, like massages and like whether I don't know what they do now, chiro practices or the freezing thing where you go inside the thing and get your get your body recovered, like all any kind of like expense that has to do with recovering the body. So I just know it's not only a nutritional thing, man. This guy is doing so many scientific proven things to sustain his body, obviously because it's over $2 million per year on his body. Um and so when you keep that in mind, and then when you keep in mind the understanding that he has um as it concerns like what it takes to play at a high level at this age, he always also attributes that to keeping his mind fresh and keeping his mind young, right? Like, and we forget about that element in terms of how important it is, just the mental game and life in general, how important keeping the mind fresh and young contributes to, everything in your body saying, okay, as long as you're going brain, I'm going to go with you. Right. And so he attributes it to that. And then when you look at now how he approaches the game, taking quarters off, taking plays off, sustaining his body, like I mean, like I really believe that he's going to do what, dare I say, I don't want to say 45 because that's just
That's
unrealistic. He's
wild.
not a he's not a
Hey, who knows?
quarterback. Like,
Who knows? He can sit
I'm
there.
just
He
saying.
can sit there and
I mean
pass the
that
ball.
no. I mean no. He's not.
He's one of
That's
the greatest
quarterbacks.
passers to ever play the game.
I feel that. I feel
I'm
that. I
just
feel
kidding.
that. But yeah, I feel that. But this is a tolling sport. So I'm not gonna go 45, but I will go like into his 40s, and he'll legit be able to say that he's done things and played at a high level at an age that's unspeakable. Like, how do you play at a high level at this age? Every guy in the league in NBA history, I want to say there's six guys. There's six guys to have played to the age of 38 years old. And of those six guys, I want to say it was something, wow, this number was crazy. It was like they combined for, it was like 16 points per game that season, their 38-year-old season. Like all of them combined in their 38 season only averaged together like 16 points. So for LeBron to be doing what he's doing at this age, very scary. And yeah, I think he can make it last for some time, man.
KD still scoring in his sleep. What's his legacy looking like?
KD still scoring
He
in
should
his
have scored
sleep,
40.
man.
He should have scored
This is
40.
what is KD's legacy, man? Like KD's legacy. I mean, you want to say something? I mean, I could go on and
He
on.
needs to win another.
It's
He need.
basketball, is baby.
He
I
needs to
love it.
win.
I love it.
He needs to win a chip outside of Golden State.
I feel that.
I
I
don't care
feel that.
where it is. I don't care if he
I
makes
feel
him.
that.
If he joins the Bucks. He's got to win another
I,
one.
I feel that, and you're right about that. And I believe that will definitely move him up the rankings. He's in my top 15 ever. But where I the legacy to me, there's no Victor Wembanyama if not for KD. Like I think he had like when we talk about Steph Curry and his impact on the game, when you look at guys who are small in this league
Oh, we do
who
talk all.
embrace the three and changed the NBA from the amount of threes the teams are taking per game now. He's done that. When you look at LeBron's impact on guys who, stat sheet stuffers. When you look at the Russell Westbrooks, when you look at the Giannis's, the Lucas, the Jokers, like these guys always express how LeBron has impacted their game in terms of more than just scoring, right? That's his impact. To me, KD's impact is at 6'11", right? Slender guys, slender guys being like, if you're back in the day, if you were 6'11", they would make you eat, get big, so that you could turn into a big man. Period. 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 Like he has literally made it normal to be to have guard skills, more than just guard skills, to have elite guard skills, to be literally a shooting guard at 6'11". He made it normal to be 7 feet, a 7 foot shooting guard. It's one thing to be a 7 foot stretch big. We had those, right? We had the Joke, we had the Dirk Nowitzki's, and there's plenty of other guys like Dirks. We had the 7 foot, you know, stretch the floor big guys, but we've never had a 6'11", 7 foot shooting guard. Like we had the 6'10" point guard in Magic Johnson, but we've never had, and he's the only one since his time to be a legit 6'10" point guard. I mean, LeBron has done that also, but I just mean like literally like the point guard, like period. Like LeBron, played off the ball to bring it up the court. But KD has literally normalized getting end to end, running the floor, being super athletic, being acrobatic, being, long strides, picking his spots, literally normalized 7 footers operating like shooting guards out there, ball handlers, bringing up the ball, getting the ball at the post spot, getting the ball from the wing and operating from the wing. Like wherever he wants to go to work, he can and he will deliver. And so to me, KD's legacy is bigger than we think. And it's truly one to appreciate when we look at a 6'11" guy able to do the things that Kevin Durant is able to do. We've never seen it before, and it's the reason why, in my opinion, guys who are born who end up being over, 6'11", 7 foot are like, no, coach. Like don't put me on that block. I wanna do what KD over there do. Like I want to dribble, have fun, and be a guard out there and have fun too. And so to me, no Victor if not for KD. That's his legacy.
Okay, we move on to LeBron and KD embrace each other at the end of regulation. What about? It's the rivalry, and I'm not gonna say rivalry in a bad term. They love competing against each other. They've been at it for a long time. That's probably the matchup these guys look forward to every year, beating each other, and it's not like a animosity kind of rivalry. It's like a love for the game and a love for the type of player that each other is. You're always gonna want to beat the best, So I think that's all. There's not much to it. It's just that's what it's about.
Yeah,
They know they're not gonna have many games against each other left in their career, so why not embrace everyone?
Right, and you're right about every sentiment you just said. To be honest, and we could move on real quick, but I just got one little joke about it.
Go ahead.
The way LeBron hugged him, though, it was like one of those big.
Come to LA.
No. It was like one of those big bear hug, like bear hug, bro hugs. That was just like, I forgive you, you mother bleeper, like for going to Golden State and taking that.
He got one. That's why. Bro, if they would have both, would he have that same reaction?
He took two at least 2 rings from my boy Bron, bro. Like, yo, bro, this conversation of LeBron and MJ would be way more like sort of interesting, and MJ fans would actually have to like would really be sweating and having to really like more than they do it like be in the fight of the MJ and LeBron debate because a lot of these MJ, guys, they sort of have like this nonchalant vibe about them. Like, yo, it's not even a debate. Like, y'all bugging. Like, it is like if Braun had 6, they would now have to like feel the pressure that Braun fans feel. Like we feel like we gotta, you know, bring ball for ball, bring real information, hard information to the like Jordan fans don't feel like that. And this would be something that certainly made them feel like they had to bring more arguments to the table in a LeBron and MJ debate if LeBron had 6. And we got to remember the first matchup against Golden State when he was on the Cavaliers, Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love went down. Oh my, and he still won 2 games against the Golden State Warriors. Killer, 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 killer. Definitely would have won that finals because that was Golden State's first finals appearance. And they were way better than the Cleveland Cavaliers in that finals without Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love. And the only reason why Braun was able to win 2 games was because of just knowing that like he just was more seasoned than them, like just knew how to win. They in crucial spots and they just didn't. But once they started to figure the Cavs out and started to get their confidence, it was a wrap. When they were up 2-1, they won 3 straight, and there was nothing Braun could do about that. And so that was the first finals. Definitely would have won with Kyrie and Kevin Love by his side. Second finals, Kyrie and Kevin Love were healthy. They end up winning, right? They win. What happens? So now I'm just like, all right, let's go. This is me. Like, let's go. Let's go. Now you about to go on your back-to-back-to-back run right now. 3-peat right now. What does Kevin Durant do? Goes to the Golden State Warriors, dog. It hurt my heart. And what happens in the next 2 finals? Cavs versus Warriors? Braun got beat by KD. So KD don't do that. Whoever comes out the West, whether it would have been Golden State or whoever else, Braun and Kyrie Irving would have packed them boys up and got that done. For 2 more chips after that, for sure, at least, because they went to the finals, both back, 4 times in a row, and they would have got it. So he would have, been sitting at about 6 right now, and so it's all good, Katie. I thought I looked at that like that was one of those kind of hugs, like I forgive you for making that move and leaving me with only 4 rings right now, Katie. Is you messed up my chase for the MJ debate. Bengals at 49ers as we move along. Very juicy game. Is this the game of the week, Gator?
Not if Brock.
I don't know what the game of the week is. Do you know what the game?
Brock Purdy doesn't play. I'm looking at the Browns. I actually like the Browns Seahawks matchup. Just how that's.
I love that matchup, but
I think that's the game of the week.
But Deshaun's not playing.
It doesn't matter. You've seen the Browns are 0-2 without Deshaun Watson. So 2-0 without Deshaun Watson. So apparently, or 1-2. 2-1. So it has not mattered.
Okay.
They're both 4-2. Both of those teams.
Okay.
I also like the Rams-Cowboys matchup. I think that's an interesting matchup as well. The Niners on paper should win this if Brock Purdy plays, but it doesn't look like he is. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. If Sam Darnold plays, I wouldn't say it's the game of the week. We could say that if Brock Purdy plays, it is. I'll say it is then.
Nonetheless, an amazing matchup, especially like you said, if Brock Purdy plays. How can your 49ers, Gator, bounce back against the Bengals?
They got to get better defensively. They got to figure.
What are the keys?
The keys are the defense. They're going to score.
I guess focus on this matchup. I guess what are the keys to defeating the Bengals for them?
They just got to get better defensively. That outing against Minnesota was laughable. It's amazing that because of how easy the Vikings moved the football, how the Vikings only had 22 points. I would have to look at like what if they missed field goals or turned the ball. They should have scored way more than 22. That's how bad our defense played, and they just got to get back to Niner football, man. Playing physical, causing turnovers. They haven't done that in a while. They got the pick early in the Minnesota game, but that was it. They got destroyed the rest of the game. They got to get back because the Niners are going to score points. I'm not worried about it. It doesn't matter who's that quarterback over there. They're going to score points. So it's going to come down to the defense and putting pressure on Joe Burrow because that offensive line for Cincinnati can get beat up sometimes. We've seen it happen. Especially when Joe Burrow was barely able to move a few weeks ago. The Titans absolutely destroyed them, and we know the Titans aren't that formidable this year. So you could beat the Bengals up. They were my Super Bowl pick going into the This is my Super Bowl matchup. That's what's funny about this.
Yep.
But,
I noticed that before I put it on.
Yeah, they were my pick going into the season. But I just haven't liked what I've seen from them. The Niners should win this game at home if Brock Purdy plays. If Sam Darnold plays, it's a little more interesting, I believe. But I also thought the Niners were going to blow out the Vikings and the Browns as well. And that's what's so great about football. You just never know sometimes. So that's what I got about. That's my key. My biggest key. I think the key for my two biggest keys are the Niners defense, causing turnovers, getting pressure on Joe Burrow, and and I think that's the same exact thing for the Bengals. How good the offensive line is going to play. Can they push the Niners defensive line around?
Well, push the topic on along. And go ahead and speak about that. How can Bengals continue their momentum against these 49ers?
I think it's going to start I think this game comes down to the offense of the 49ers. I mean, the defense of the 49ers versus the offense of the Cincinnati Bengals. I think that's where this game is going to be won or lost. I know for a fact that the Niners are going to score 20+. Can the Bengals keep up with them? And their offensive line is going to be the key of the game. That's going to be the deciding factor on whether or not that momentum continues because they've been playing better as of late. I don't know if that has anything to do with Joe Burrow's mobility. I'm sure it does. He's getting back to his old self. Looks like the calf strain may finally be behind him, fresh off a bye week as well. He should be as close to 100% as he ever been, even since week 1. They're saying he should be after his bye week's up. He should be in a better spot than he even was week 1 before he aggravated it. So. We're gonna get to see, and they get T. Higgins back this week, so there should be zero. After seeing what Kirk Cousins did to that 49ers offense, there's no excuses for the Bengals this weekend. The Niners defense can be expendable sometimes, especially in the back end. The reason why the Niners corners play so well sometimes is because they don't have to hold up for so long, you know? The defensive front usually gets at the quarterback quick, and that quarterback has to make tough decisions. So it makes Charvarius Ward and Diamonor look a little probably better than they actually are. If you don't get pressure, you let these receivers go one-on-one with these guys for an extended period of time, they're gonna get open. So especially we got one of the best wide receiving core in the NFL. I would say the best. I think they got the second best wide receiver in football, the second best wide receiver 2 in football, and the best wide receiver 3 in football. So, one of the probably the best receiving core in the NFL that these guys got to go up against as well.
Yes, this is definitely a tall, to me, in my opinion, the way the 49ers defense has been looking, this is definitely a tall order. This is a tall order. This would be this is like an opportunity game for the 49ers to show. Okay,
against Kirk Cousins without Justin Jefferson is laughable.
Right. That's insane. That's insane. And it doesn't get easier with this group, with this wide receiver core from the Bengals for these 49ers. So we'll see what happens with that. Gator, I want you to put on your GM hat, Gator. Under Big Dog's GM hat segment. Under Big Dog's GM hat segment. NFL trades you would like to see teams make before the deadline to help their cause, whatever their cause may be. I'm sure I'll get that explanation from you now, Gator.
Couple moves. Let's get Derrick Henry out of Tennessee. He's I'm liking what they're saying about Baltimore. Him to Baltimore would be amazing for Lamar Jackson. They would not
Well,
have.
well, 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 well. Talk from the perspective of a GM. Give me
Yeah,
give me the team.
that's what I'm saying.
Are you saying for the Tennessee you want is
Lamar
good for the
Jackson.
Tennessee or for? Okay, go ahead.
Well, it's good for both. Derrick Henry's getting up there in age. It doesn't look like the Titans are doing anything this year. I don't know why D Hop signed over there, but whatever. And for the Ravens standpoint, this might be the best team they've had in a couple years. Lamar Jackson's made it through the halfway point with no injuries. They got the best receiving core I think they've had. It's still regular, but it's still the best that they've had. With Zay Flowers, Odell, and Rashad Bateman. And they got an actual real shot at getting a high seed this year too. Not even like getting an easy kind of first round. I think they're right behind the Chiefs right now. And the only thing they're kind of missing is a running game. They do have Gus Edwards is formidable. He can get it done, but could you imagine if they could really try to keep Lamar Jackson healthy? Like if they got a running back that they can really hand the ball off to 20 times because they don't have one. The J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards had been and Justice Hill literally take turns with injuries every week. They don't. Derrick Henry doesn't have that history, so I like that move. And also, if I'm the Niners GM, I think they need to go get Brian Burns from Carolina or Patrick Surtain from Denver. ASAP, because especially with the Eagles did getting Kevin Byard from Tennessee, the All-Pro safety, that means the Niners got to make a move. They freed up cap space. They freed up almost $40 million in cap space for a deadline trade like this. I think they go after Patrick Surtain heavy or Brian Birds on Denver. I think John Lynch got to realize.
I like that.
Got to realize what just happened last week and be kind of like.
That'd be crazy. That'd be wild, though. They got to give up. They got to give up quite a few to do that. And then you got to think also.
They're not afraid to do that. Look at the Christian McCaffrey trade.
But you got to also consider though, right, that they're not going to have the money to pay him. He's literally due pay. Like their defense in their mind, so they thought.
Yeah.
Have.
Well, that's why maybe Brian Burns. That's why I'm saying maybe Brian Burns, just because he's.
That's still you still got to come out your pockets. For
they
Brian
have
Burns.
the cap space. They have the cap space. They freed up a lot.
How?
They have the number one cap space. They have the number one cap space in the NFL right now. Don't ask how they did that, but they do.
See, and this is why I told my my lady, I said after I finished studying counseling, because that's my study right now. Once I take counseling to the highest level of education, the next educational journey that I'm going to start is math, because that, bro.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Bruh, it's
they have 29. They have 29 million in cap space right now. It's number one in the NFL, behind in front of the Cleveland Browns.
Bro, the fact that they, at every position,
they restructured. I'm sorry, that's what they did. They restructured. I think it was Debo's deal, and I think they're paying Nick Bosa They restructured a few deals.
Look, what you're saying plays into what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
And basically what I'm getting at is the reason why I told my lady that my next study that I'm going to take to the highest level is math, is because there's some real, like, in the NFL, sports in general, not lawmakers, but lawyers, the justice system, like all of these places have, that's who the real winners are. The real winners right now of all of this modern technology that's in our faces is the algorithm guys, the mathematical guys. Like, because take right now, not even to bring my personal life into this, but it's, I don't mind. I'm an open book, really. One of the things my lady hates about me, but is I'm taking this math course right now, and I'm learning literally that there is a way to solve any math problem with some type of a shortcut because of a formula or because of a process to go about which solving that problem. Like, and that led me to understand, like, yo, like, math is like, you could solve anything with math. If you have financial problems, like you would think the San Francisco 49ers have, think about it. At every position, I want to say they have they got like a top seven, the highest paid player at almost every position besides the quarterback. Definitely wide receiver, definitely at tight end, definitely on the offensive line, definitely on the defensive line, definitely at linebacker. Like, at almost every position, they got one of the highest paid players in the NFL at every position, and
Pretty much.
the rest of the league is just sitting there stunned as to how. I know how. I know how. You have real mathematicians out there, like, yo, there's a way. There's a way.
Yeah, they'll
Just
figure it
let
out.
just give this to me for about
You might be right. You might be right.
it's going to take me about about a month, maybe two. That's what, bro. Think about, like, real talk, and I'll close with this on this is when you look at these guys, like, why the process really takes so long. It's really because of the math. Like, it's really because of the financial. It's not a. It's always a facade when they put out there into the media, like, oh, the player and the organization are far apart in contract talks. Like, people don't really know what that means. People think that means, like, oh, the player is only, like, just demanding more money. No, it's bigger than that. Like, the real is, like, yo, you got the players, math guys saying, like, yo, I've read all of their, current contract guys over the next 5 years. Say a player, a team that a player has, say he has a team that wants to get him a 5-year deal. He's like, yo, I looked at all of their contracts over the next 5 years, and they have plenty of money left over the span of the next 5 years. And of that money, say you are 25% of the reason why this team is a formidable team in the NFL. 25% of the money that they have says you should be making $55 million a year. And then they go in and talk about it. Hey, my agent said I'm supposed to be making 55 a mil right now. 55. Oh no, you're longer. Why 55? Well, because, a lot of it is math. Like, and so I'm really embracing math and all of the opportunities that being a mathematician can bring, and I'm good at it. And so, I thought that sparked my interest. That was super dope. But yeah, I mean, that's what it really comes down to with these deals. And so, for you to tell me that they can still make a move for, like, a Patrick Surtain or a Brian Burns is ridiculous. But with math, I
It
guess it's
might no.
possible.
Well, so you might be right. Like, it might come back to bite them in the end because that's just for this year. They moved a lot of
Oh, then
contracts.
no, you don't make a move like that for just this year. You get
No,
Patrick
that's what they
Surtain because
did. They freed up money for this year to make moves like that. But they can always keep restructuring them. These teams be doing it all the time, so they'll find a way.
yeah, yeah.
But they also got to play
Any
Brandon Ayuk. Any moves that you want to see before we go to the next one?
Oh, you're good. I mean, like, the one that stood out to me was the when you said Baltimore Derrick Henry. I say Saquon Barkley. I think Saquon Barkley fits Lamar's game more than Derrick Henry. Lamar is when he gets in, when Lamar makes the plays that hurt teams the most, it's usually because he extended the play. When you got a Barkley out there, a guy with hands, a running back with hands out there, as a threat, especially in the run option, um, and then you go out and then you throw it to him. He can actually run routes out there. I think Barkley would be a much better fit for this Ravens team. And I want to say Dan Orlovsky said it. He was like, "Yo, you get Saquon Barkley, you could just book it. You're gonna be at least in the AFC title game." And so this is my AFC title pick. I have the Baltimore Ravens going up against the Bills in the AFC Championship game, and it's looking okay right now. Those picks are looking okay, but that's the move that if I was a Ravens GM, that I would be looking to definitely make as we can proceed to our Western Conference Finals predictions. NBA Western Conference Finals predictions. This is the UBD receipts, NBA predictions, Western Conference Finals predictions. Who are your two teams, Gator?
I'm hoping they don't play each other in the second round, but I'm actually gonna do a little. I'm gonna be surprised. I think I'm gonna surprise you with this one. I got
Uh oh.
Denver, but then I
Okay.
got the Sacramento Kings going to the Western
See,
Conference Finals this year. But my Western Conference Finals champion is Denver. That's my
see,
selection. I think they're gonna
see.
shock. I think they're gonna shock people this year. I think they were too young to do it last year. I think they're ready. I think they're ready this year. I think they grown up against that Warriors team. I think they grow up this year and they get it done. And then I think
I'm
they
gonna
beat the
go ahead.
Lakers.
I'm gonna go ahead and put the Lakers in that spot, man.
That's no
Gonna
fun.
put the Lakers. I'm gonna put the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals, and with the long season ahead, the uncertainties of Bradley Bill with his back injury, even though they said he'll be fine, that makes me nervous because these back injuries date back from his when he was with the Wizards, and they thought when they made the trade for him that he would be beyond recovered, be far removed from the therapeutic process of getting to fully healthy, and then now to start the season he's unavailable because of said back injury. So because of the uncertainty around these Suns, I love the Golden State Warriors, but I'm gonna pause on that. So I'll say the Lakers are gonna end up there, and I'm gonna just go out on a limb. Like, why not? Like, make noise. I'm not gonna do that. Rather, I'm not gonna do that. I was gonna pick the New Orleans Pelicans, but I don't got the guts to
If
do
you
that.
don't say Denver, like, come on, bro. Denver is the best team in
To
the
me, it's
East.
gonna be the Lakers and the Golden State Warriors in the Western Conference Finals. That's my picks.
Leaving Denver out is crazy, but okay. And who's your Western Conference Finals champ? Who's going to the NBA Finals?
Los Angeles Lakers, and I'll be honest with the public. Let's just for the
That's
record,
because
I'll
he's
be
a
honest with the
LeBron
public.
fan.
It's a biased pick. It's a biased pick. My unbiased mind would probably take the Golden State Warriors because I really do love the Chris Paul edition. But my biased mind, I'm going with the Lakers, baby.
Okay,
East
I
East,
Eastern
yeah.
Conference
Okay.
Finals. I think this one's a little easier. I think it's Bucks Celtics. I don't think it's close in the East, to be honest with you. Philly can maybe make a little, based on what I saw from Philly last year. They can compete, but in a 7 game series, there's no way they beat one of those two teams. So I'm going to take the Bucks as my Eastern Conference Finals champs. That one's a little easier, I think. We might actually both agree with that. But you might take
Yeah.
Boston.
No, barring anything unforeseen, like some type of a trade or something like that. I too am gonna go with the Celtics and Milwaukee Bucks. And I agree with your Philadelphia 76ers take. I actually believe with Nick Nurse as the head coach, if somehow they could keep James Harden, they could actually be a threat to make it.
Yeah, they looked good
If
last
the
night.
if the New York Knicks are able to make a deal, a trade by the deadline to get like an Embiid or something like the rumors are going around, that could be interesting. But barring something unforeseen, definitely Boston and Milwaukee.
Know what?
And
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll go ahead right now. I just think Boston is better. I don't think Milwaukee presents the same problems like a Miami Heat do. So I'm going to go ahead and go with Boston, even though obviously Dame is not here to play. Dame is here to win a championship, and I don't want to bet against that at all.
Two
But
things I'll say about that take. One, I don't like Boston only because they never can get it done. I think some teams just can't get it done. So I just don't believe in them like that, even if I think they got the better team. But two, I like the Philly take because not they played well last night on the road, and I think they almost won the game. And Joel Embiid didn't have his best game, so I think it showed that they could win games probably without him scoring 30, 40 points a night. If they played any other team that night, they might have won the game. Milwaukee might be the best team in basketball right now with that combo, and they almost stole it. And Embiid played pretty poorly to his standards. So, and that's not going to be obviously that's not going to the MVP is not going to play is not going to have his worst game all the time. I'm not saying he played bad. He played average, but he could have played a lot better. He missed free throws. He didn't shoot well from the field. So they almost won that game with their superstar player not playing really up to MVP like level. So they could even be better, is what I'm saying with Philly. Philly can even be better, and then the addition if James Harden comes back could be scary. And so now our NBA Finals predictions. I got the Milwaukee Bucks winning.
Lakers, LeBron wins his fifth title,
Oh
baby.
God, here we go. I'm ready to go to the picks. Thank.
Let's move on to UBD's NFL Week 8 picks.
I'm gonna let you
Who's
start this
sparking this
time. I
thing off?
started last week, so you can start. King caught up to me
All
a little
right.
bit. He's 7 games behind now. He
Oh,
is
did
a six,
I?
yeah, 67 and 39, 60 and 46 record. Sorry, King is 60 and 46.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. So, I had the Buffalo Bills against Buccaneers last night, so that's a you just mark that as a win. I know you had the Bucks, so you need to mark that. So you need to mark that as a loss.
We'll get to that.
Um, I have the Cowboys beating the Rams. It's hard to pick. It's hard to say that, but I'm just going to do that. Rams could definitely win that game. I have the Eagles beating the Commanders again. I have the Jets beating the Giants. I have the Vikings beating the Packers, man. They're just supposed to do it. So I got it. Um I have I have the Jaguars beating these Steelers. I have the Jaguars beating the Steelers.
That might be the game of the week, actually.
Yeah, you might be right. That is a juicy matchup. I have the Jaguars beating the Steelers. I have the Titans beating the Falcons. I have the Saints beating the Colts. I have the Patriots beating the Dolphins. Yeah, I said it. I have Bryce Young going up against CJ Stroud. How dope.
You're picking a lot of
Um,
road teams.
Give me the Panthers in this matchup. Give me the Seahawks over the Browns. Give me the 49ers over the Bengals. Chiefs over the Broncos. Ravens over the Cardinals. Chargers over the Bears. Lions over the Raiders.
These are King's Week 8 picks. I will refresh the page and I'm going to run through mine quickly because I know it already. And just know I'm in the lead, so don't bet on King stuff. I had the Bills. I got the Cowboys. I got the Eagles, Jets, Vikings. 3 straight road games. I'm gonna take the Steelers at home. I think they give this Jaguar team a little like, oh, we won 4 in a row. All right, slow your roll a little bit. You're coming into a hot team. I got the Falcons on the road. The Titans don't even have Ryan Tannehill still. I don't think he's playing. That
Will
team.
Levis is playing.
Yeah, I'm not buying that at all with that Falcon defense. And the Falcons 4-3. Desmond Ritter's playing well. Not great. He's playing well. Not turning the ball over like he was in the beginning of the season. So I like the Falcons. Um, I got the Colts in that one. I got the Dolphins, Texans, Seattle, Niners, Chiefs, Ravens, Chargers, and I got the Oakland Raiders with Jimmy Garoppolo back, stunning the Lions. I think the Lions got whooped last week. They got a little doubt in them. I think Dan Campbell's
Wow.
gonna try to turn that around, but I think Jimmy Garoppolo's a winner, man. I believe in Jimmy G, and I think that team gets it done this week, and they steal one on the road. That is
That's some
my
interesting picks, man.
Those are my picks, and we'll close out the show a little early tonight, but we'll just do our parlays real quick here. We went
Yes, and
we
it's
went
good that
one
it's
and
good
we
that we're
went we went 1-3 last week, so we gotta give the people some winning bets this week, some winning locks. For my first lock, I have the Dolphins -9.5 against those Patriots.
did you change the topic? Hmm? If I
Yeah,
think you're
yeah, yeah,
muted.
yeah, yeah.
Um, my locks are going to be. Let's see. And you took the graphic down for my locks. I gotta go look at the matchups now again.
You said what?
Um, I said you took the graphics down. I was trying to look for my
Oh, sorry,
locks.
sorry. Yeah, no, I didn't mean to say
No,
that.
you're
My
good.
bad.
No, you're good. You're good. I pulled it up here. My parlay locks, man. I'm gonna go ahead and give. Mm, I'm gonna give everybody the Seahawks. Give me the Seahawks -4 as a lock. Give me the Jaguars on the road to win as a lock. Jaguars money line, Seahawks to cover are my two locks.
I got my other lock is the Jets.
That's a good lock. That's actually a really good lock.
I also
It's
like the
actually
Vikings as well, but
okay. I mean, let's take the opportunity right now.
let's
Those
do
are our
five.
locks. Go ahead and place. Go ahead and place those big bets. Let's take the opportunity right now, Gator, to let the people know uh what's going on a little bit about what's the scheduling and what to stay tuned for. I mean, you could talk about it now and so that you already have that content that you need to go ahead and post. Um,
Yeah, I'll make another video as well, but we are taking a week break. And then we're gonna come back with a new schedule the following week. So you won't see us next week. We are gonna try to post content for next week though. I'm gonna try to work that out. Maybe I'll take some clips from this stream as well. Um, so be on the lookout for that. I'll probably take 2 or 3 clips from this stream, and then maybe we'll get our power rankings out there for you because those are little quick things that we can do while we're on the road for this week coming up. So um, we'll do maybe some power rankings and our week 9 picks. Those should be pretty easy to get together. So we will have some content for you guys next week and our parlays as well if you're a betting person. So we'll get those out there for you. We will be back. I'm not sure what day we will be back, but we're taking a week off. We will
so
be
it's going to
back
be
sometime
inside.
two
So it's
days
not going to be. It's not going to be next week that we'll be back because, like Gator said, we're taking a break. But the week after that, so
At some
the
point, we
following
will
week,
be
we
back,
will be
and we
back
will update everybody
at
on
one.
social media.
Of course, we will. And so we're making possible alterations to
Just the days.
um the, the days that we are live and yeah, super dope. super dope. A lot of this is a new show, so a lot of decisions are going to constantly be made and be had and alterations,
And
and
it don't
so
matter
there's
because
a
it's our show, right?
and that's very true, and that's 100% true, and so it's going to be very very fun growing with this show together with everyone. This is our show. When I say ours, I mean Minds, Gators, and everybody who joins the show to give their sports takes. Everybody who joins, the community. This is literally our show to come on live and talk sports and be heard. All right. Under Big Dogs, we are out. Another beautiful sports show.
We'll see you
Gator,
guys in
anything you
about a
want to
week
say?
and a half.